Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And yes, today we have a super awesome folder for you. This is a self-defense tool. It was designed to be a self-defense tool. It wasn't designed to be a camp knife. It wasn't designed to be a fishing knife. It wasn't designed to be a hunting knife. It wasn't designed to be a utility knife. None of those things was it designed for. What was it designed for? Combat. It's a combat folder. Designed by James Williams. I want you all to go check out James Williams. I'm going to leave a lot of links to James Williams videos and information about him at the end of this video, so check out the show more part of the what do you call it, the description or whatever of the video. I want you to go check it out. James Williams is awesome. He is one awesome person. Oh, we got Juno joining us here today. She's trying to get into things. What you doing, sweetie? But anyway, go check out James Williams. And check out his philosophy of the blade and the way he thinks about knives and swords and folders and fixed blades, and so you can get a little bit into his head and understand what he's talking about. I think the man is awesome. He very much specializes in the Japanese arts and martial arts, and mainly like in sword fighting and things like that, the bladed arts. What's up, sweetie? I'm making a video. I see. You want to be in the video too. You want to help? You want to help me make the video? Okay. But before we get into this, I want to have a little discussion and just discuss what I've always been all about, and the reason why I'm into other than collecting, the reason why I collect the type of knives that I do collect. And I have collected all kinds of knives. Knives that have nothing to do with combat, nothing to do with self-defense, and stuff like that also. But my main focus, and the reason why I do these videos mostly, is because I want to let people know what knives are safe, and what knives I feel that are safe to use, and even if you have to use them for self-defense purposes or what have you. The main reason why I carry a folder is for self-defense. Not for utility, and not for any other purpose. The main reason why I carry one is for self-defense. I'm being blunt about that. I know lots of times, things on YouTube nowadays, they want to censor everything and stuff like that, but that's okay. That's the reason why I don't worry about commercials or monetizing my videos or anything like that, because I just want to say what I want to say. I'm not trying to make money or anything off of this or anything like that. I'm just putting out there what I feel like is important to put out there when it comes to bladed tools, self-defense tools. And my main focus when it comes to a folder, because I think all folders can be pretty much used as a self-defense tool, if need be. But my main focus is I like to concentrate on the ones I feel are safe to use. Because I'm not going to try to tell you to go out there and buy or use or suggest that you use anything for self-defense. I feel like it's not safe. That's the reason why you see a lot of knives that I try out, they don't make it into my rotation drawer. Because if I feel something's not safe, I won't use it. And I really love, for instance, I really love the new Benchmade Adamas's. But I've seen videos on them on the internet where the lock fails. So I took that out my box. But I really love those knives. I haven't contacted Benchmade yet, like I told you guys I was going to do. I just haven't had the time to do it, or I always get sidetracked and do other things. But I still need to find out about those knives, because I think those are beautiful knives. I love Benchmade axis locks. To me, Benchmade axis locks are some of my favorite locks. And I've carried them for many years, and I've never had one fail on me. And as you all know, my favorite one is a 391BK SOCP 391BK. I love that knife. I absolutely love that knife. But anyway, I feel that it's important that a lock, if it does have a weak lock type, you know, like let's say like a compression lock, a plunge lock, a liner lock, a frame lock, I feel like all those types of knives need to have a flipper. And the reason why I say that is that the flipper will protect your fingers if the lock fails. The lock, it'll be hard for the lock, for the knife to just totally fold in on your hand and cut your fingers and digits all up. I've had that happen to me before. And it was with a Benchmade knife, a AFCK. And it had a titanium liner lock. And that's the other thing too. Titanium and aluminum doesn't make the best liner lock or frame lock material if it doesn't have a hardened steel insert. I cannot recommend any titanium frame lock or aluminum frame lock without a hardened steel insert as being a knife that I would carry, or I would feel like, you know, it's a safe knife. It has to have, to me, all liner locks, frame locks, plunge locks, and compression locks, they need to have a flipper. And if they're aluminum or titanium liner lock or frame lock, it needs to have a hardened steel insert and a over travel stock. Those are my suggestions and opinions about those types of knives. There's lots of knives like that I love, and there's lots of knives like that I have and I do carry, but they all have flippers. They all have flippers. I won't carry one without a flipper. And with the knives that don't have flippers, they need to have super, super strong locks. Locks that you could depend on in dire situations if your life depends on it. Locks that are basically turn a folding knife into almost like a fixed blade knife, or maybe even stronger than some fixed blade knives. Lots of rat tail fixed blade knives aren't all that strong. It's the full tang ones that are super strong. I've seen lots of rat tail fixed blades, you know, they snap. I've seen it happen a lot of times. It's hard to break a full tang knife. Full tang knife is a seriously strong knife. An exposed full tang knife. So you can see everything that's going on. But anyway, the folding knives that I really trust that don't need to have flippers, in my opinion, and I would still consider them a very safe knife, and a knife that I would recommend for self-defense use would be the Deadbolts, the Shark Locks, and the Triad, the coveted Triad lock. I trust the Triad lock the most. The Triad lock is the one I actually trust the most. I know the new Atlas lock is coming out, and it should be, I heard June 1st they're going to start hitting the store shelves, and I want to get one of those too, because you know me, I gotta try it. I gotta try all the strong locks, but I don't like the pricing on them. But I'm interested. I'm still interested. I'm hoping the street prices will come down, especially like a Memorial Day for the holiday sales, and I hope I'll be able to score one or two of them. The ones I really like are the 3.5 inch Drifter / Engage. They changed the name from Drifter to Engage, if that confuses you. And the new Mayhem. Those are the ones I'm interested in. And I'm going to try to get for a decent price. But I'm only going to get them if I can get a decent price on them, because I'm not going to spend a price I think is outlandish, or just like trying to take advantage of the customers that are fans of cold steel. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to even promote that. I'm not going to promote for you guys to go out and waste your money on something that's not worth what I think is, you know, something that I think that's not worth it. But those are the locks that I would depend on. And today, we got a new deadbolt. New deadbolt that's going to get added to my rotation drawer. I know that already because all the research I've done on this knife about James Williams and his whole philosophy behind this knife, I got to have this one. I knew about this one that came out in the frame lock, but I wasn't interested in it as a frame lock. But when they made it into a deadbolt, I had to get it. I had to get it. But anyway, here we go. And this is a, well, let's it's White Mountain Knives. White Mountain Knives. Let's do the unboxing, huh? And we're going to open this one up with the original. This is the reason why this one's on the table, because this is the first one. The first one in my collection. The Flavio Ikoma Seismic. This is a Flavio Ikoma design. All these knives have the Flavio Ikoma Deadbolt. All these knives have the Flavio Ikoma IKBS ball bearing system. And all of mine are caged in bronze phosphor bronze cages. And what else can I say? This one, the first one, when CRKT first started making these, they sort of did the GSM cold steel thing where they offered inexpensive steel in a really nice knife. I mean, you know, if this knife had better steel, this would be a super awesome knife. But a really inexpensive steel for like around $100. I think I paid $80-something for this one, and that was a good deal. Because normally they were going for like $109, $119 or something like that. When they first came out. This is the Seismic. This is the Flavio Ikoma design. And this was my first. Absolutely love this knife. I've modified it, you know how I polish things and do stuff like that. This is not the way it looks stock. This part right here is aluminum and it's like dull. It's like a dull natural finish stock. I didn't like the dull natural finish, so you know what I mean. So I've polished the spine of the blade and to make it match, and I've polished the liners and everything else. So it's been completely gone through, and it's been Loctited, and I haven't had a problem with it since I Loctited it. Super solid knife. Super solid knife. The Flavio Ikoma Deadbolt. Seismic. This was my second one. And when I got this one, I totally fell in love with it because it came out with D2. It was for $125 at the Knife Center. All these knives, this knife has G10. These are aluminum. And this one's going to be G10 also. But they're very well made. Super well made. This is the Clever Girl. It's the Asta Maglan design. Designed after his fixed blade. The Clever Girl. He's a military veteran. And now he's a knife maker. And he designs knives for combat. Sort of like, you know, James Williams. Same thing. D2 blade. Beautiful knife. Beautiful knife. Highly recommend it. This one, next to this one is the newest one. And I got this one. It's a Kit Carson design. Designed by Master Sergeant Kit Carson. He's passed away now. It's the M1603DB. Beautiful knife. It's got a 3mm blade. Now this one has a 3.8mm blade. The same thing with this one, 3.8mm blade. 3mm blade. It's got the external blade stops. All the original ones had the external blade stops, except for the Trask. I want to say the Trask has internal blade stops. And the Lynchpin has I think it has external blade stops too, also Lynchpin. That's the other one I like. And this is the Assisted one. It's got the Flavio Ikoma Deadbolt IKBS ball bearing system plus a Ken Onion assist. And I absolutely love the assisted deadbolts. I absolutely love them. But they have one issue that we're going to talk about. These are super fast. I like the deadbolts with this assist. Next one up is one of my favorite new ones. Out of all the deadbolts I have, I think this is one of my favorites. My personal favorites. It's the classic M16 04. And this one's the 04 DB with the deadbolt. One of my first CRKT knives I ever owned was an M16. It was a Special Forces model with the Quillons on the blade. Excuse me. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. D2 blade. This is the thicker blade. I think it's a 3.5 millimeter if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so let's get into this one. I can't say James Williams is awesome enough. After watching his videos, there it is there. Now, I'm not sure if I'm saying this name right. Inazuma No Ken. Model 2908. 2908. Inazuma No Ken. And what Inazuma No Ken means, according to what the research I've found on the CRKT website and a couple other websites, it means lightning sword. Lightning sword. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Here we go. Oh, man. It's got a little weight to it. You got little stuff in here. It shows you how it's assembled. And this is like the generic warranty card, maintenance card for CRKT. This one will be going into my rotation drawer. This one's going to be heavily used and carried. It might become my new favorite for. Cause I just like all the information I've read up on this and what it's all about, and the whole purpose behind it. I really like the way he tells you the reason why he made this handle. He tells you the reason why he made the blade the way it is. Indiscreet carry without any labeling or billboarding on the pocket clip. Perfectly centered. I think it's supposed to be a 3.2 millimeter blade. Just like my Benchmade, my other favorite, the SOCP 391BK has a 3.2 millimeter blade too. Flipper feels really good. It's got a real small button as opposed to like other CRKT models. And instead of having external blade stops, these are the external blade stops that can also be used as thumb studs, but their main purpose is to be a blade stop for opening and the closed position. But they can be used as thumb studs also. This one doesn't have that feature. This one has internal blade stops like the Trask. I'm going to say the Trask has internal blade stops. I'd have to pull it out to tell you exactly for sure. Go look at it. Beautiful looking knife. I'm just digging it. It's got the D2 blade. This looks like a 6061 aluminum backspacer. The blade feels like it, the handle feels like it's probably going to be handle heavy. And I'm pretty sure that's a 6061 aluminum backspacer because of the way the pocket clip works. Pocket clip screws into it. And it's reversible to the other side with the same pocket clip. G10 handle scales, full stainless steel liners, IKBS ball bearing system, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be in bronze phosphor. Yep, bronze phosphor cages. Beautiful knife. Absolutely beautiful. And this one has the Canyon Assist. Like on these, though, you can't see the spring because it's inside the G10. Here we go. First opening. Oh. I love it. I love it. Oh, man, I'm so happy I got this knife. It's probably going to be my first one. I mean, you know I'm going to get another one. I have to get another one to collect. This one will be the one that gets carried. Absolutely love it. I knew I was going to like this one. I knew I was going to like it. And this is a Japanese style Tonto blade, not American style. And James Williams gets into depth on this blade and the purpose of this blade. And it's for stabbing. This blade was designed to stab, and it's designed after like a Japanese sword from the 1500s. you got to see his videos. It's very informative, and I don't know if you're like me. I just really got jazzed when I saw his videos. And it's got like a saber ground. It goes down to a flat ground saber, like saber ground with the flat ground. Goes down to the edge. The edge looks like a V grind edge. I don't know what angle that is, but I'd say it's probably in between a 17 and 20 angle. But this blade was designed to penetrate through people who are wearing clothes. And he goes into detail the reason why he designed a blade like this. And I'm not going to say everything he said. I want you to watch his videos. Because he could say it, he could present his, he could tell what he's, talking about better than I can say what he's talking about. But this is designed to go through bone, everything. And he demonstrates it with plywood, too. Stabbing through plywood. The other knives won't go all the way through plywood. This one goes all the way into the plywood. With one strike. Thick piece of plywood. And he's letting you know that's what, wood is dense like bone and everything like that. So if it can stab through that, it should be a great self-defense weapon. The whole purpose behind this one was to get as much penetration potential that you can get in a 3.7 inch blade. It's a little bit under 3.7 inch. I think it's like 3.68 inches or something like that. I'd call it 3.7, around 3.7. 3.7 inch blade. Awesome knife. Awesome knife. There's no skeletonizing in the handle scales. The handle and the stainless steel liners. Very sturdy. Feels very stout. Feels like it weighs 6 ounces. It's not a lightweight knife. It's handle heavy, so in the finger groove, it drops. You go behind the finger groove, and it balances. And I'm sure that the reason why it's weighted like that is because this is an aluminum backspacer, and it's adding a lot of weight to the handle. Beautifully made knife, beautifully engineered knife. Highly recommend it. And it's fast. I love the Ken Onion Assist on these deadbolts. Absolutely love it. As you all know, I live in California, and here automatics aren't allowed. Balisongs aren't allowed. Double-edged knives like daggers and dirks aren't allowed. But we can have assisted knives if they have either the flipper or what do you call them? Thumb studs. So this is about as close as I can get to carrying a full-size knife that's on auto in California. And I like the way the blade hides totally into the handle. This is a really nice knife. I really dig this. And he talks about the importance of the handle being neutral, so it's good in every grip. Every grip. Doesn't matter how you hold the knife, because he talks about favorite grips, and he says, "What's a favorite grip? A favorite grip is whatever grip you need to be in when you're when you're in the situation that you're in. So you may have to hold the knife like this. You may have to hold the knife like this. You know, it depends. There is no such thing as a favorite grip to him. It's like he likes neutral handles that he can hold in any kind of grip. And that totally makes sense to me. If you're in a combat situation, you're in panic mode or whatever, you just need to be able to hold on to whatever way you can hold on to it. That, you know, a lot of things he was saying to me just makes a lot of sense. And this one has, it looks like T6s or T8s. I'm not sure. Let me, hold on. Let's find out. I'm talking about for the screws. I'm not sure if it's T6 or T8s. We'll find out real quick. This is a T8. Okay, T8 for that one. That's the T6. So T8s and T6s. T8s and T6s for your hardware. Absolutely love it. The Lightning Sword. The Lightning Sword. So I'm going to keep this video short. I'm not going to go too long on this video because I want you guys to go check out everything. If this is the new one, the Lightning Sword. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It was designed just to be a folding fighter, and it's designed to have the maximum penetration and slashing power for a 3.7-inch blade. Highly recommend this one. Go check it out. Oh, listen, wait a minute. Before we end it, I was getting ready to end it with, I forgot I didn't weigh anything yet, huh? We didn't weigh anything. I meant to do that. Let's weigh them out. 6.2 ounces. 6.2 ounces. Let's compare it to these. 6.7. This is the heaviest. Put that one down at the bottom. Heaviest so far. Clever Girl. 6.9. Seismic. 6.4. That one's not going to stand. Look at, we'll lay them down then. And 4.0 for the 03 dB. So there they go. According to weight. Let's take this one though. Let's see how big I think the blade stock is. Get zeroed out here. .2. Yep, 3.2. Awesome. Blade length. Right at about 3 3/4. Handle length, almost 5 inches. So it should be 8 3/4. The point's not, oh, it's going into the thing. Hold on. I guess I have to do it like this. So I just have to hold it. Yep, 8 3/4. Excellent knife. Excellent knife, people. Highly recommend it. If you get a chance to get one, I would say get it. I'm going to get another one. I want at least 2 of these. I have to have one for my collection and one to carry. You know how I do. This is the first one. You guys have seen the first one. Then Inazuma No Ken, Lightening Sword from James Williams and CRKT. Highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly recommend this one. For those who want a really good self-defense folder. Folder that they can carry every day for self-defense purposes. It's under 4 inches, so it's probably legal just about everywhere in the United States. Awesome knife. Awesome knife. Let's open them all up, huh? One other thing that we need to talk about with the deadbolts is that with these two so far, I haven't been able to keep the pivot screws from coming loose after, you know, playing with them and fidgeting with them too much. If you don't fidget with your knife or play with your knife or do none of those things, you probably won't have as much of an issue. But the deadbolts, when you fidget with them a lot, lots of times your pivot pin screw will come loose. And the way that you have to tighten it up, you have to take this piece off. Here, I'll show you real quick. You have to take this piece off. This one's loose right now, so it's okay. It needs to be tightened up anyway. Take that piece off right there. Take out the deadbolt. If I can get the deadbolt to come out. There you go. Take out the deadbolt. Then you flip it over. And on this side, right here is where you tighten it up. You need a small flat tip screwdriver. Matter of fact, we can do it right now, huh? Take your small flat tip screwdriver and just tighten it up. See how loose that is? Then when you tighten it up, watch your fingers there. No side to side, no up and down or nothing. Now the way that you can keep it tight, at least for a little while, is you have to take it apart and red Loctite it. And this is the only one out of all the ones I have, the two M16s, that I can't get to stay tight with a little bit of red Loctite. These still come loose even after you red Loctite them. This one's been red Loctited like 3 or 4 times now, and it still comes loose. But see, now I got a nice solid blade, no up and down, no side to side, no nothing. If CRKT could figure that out, this knife would be a perfect knife to me. I think these knives are perfect. Perfect for what I want to use them for the reason why I carry them. They're perfect. Beautiful knives. Absolutely beautiful knives. The one issue that they have is that the pivot screw will come loose. So if you can't handle being able to tighten up your pivot screws, this may not be the one for you. Even on triad lock folders, the pivot screw comes loose eventually, but it takes a long time for that to happen. But on this one, it'll come loose pretty quick. You know, like if I constantly fidget with it, I'll probably loosen it up within a day or so. But that's just the only issue I found with those. I hope this one doesn't have the same issue, but if it does, it's okay with me because I know what it caused. I know what causes it. I know how to take care of it. It's not that big of a deal. But it may not make this knife the best. These knives the best knives for the field. That's where I'm sort of going with this. They might be better for urban carry than field carry, or carry where it's not too dusty or dirty, or where you're gonna have to where you can't tighten up things all the time or something like that. For that kind of situation, I would recommend the triad folders over that. Number one, the triad folders have bronze phosphorus, bronze washers for their bushings instead of having the IKBS ball bearings type systems, which can get dirty and dusty and stuff like that in dirtier and dusty areas and need more maintenance. So it's, you know, it's a lot more durable type of knife, a triad folder. But for urban carry, for, you know, if you're in the city somewhere like me, I live in a city with, you know, several million people in it, you know, so this is a great carry for me because I know how to tighten it up and stuff like that. That's the only thing that goes wrong with these. That's the only thing. That's the only flaw that I found in them. And on the manuals, these two had that issue also in the beginning, and I red Loctited them, and they stay locked up. I think it's because these, when you open them and close them, it's using a lot less pressure. It's not like it's flying out and hitting a, you know, and stopping really quick and probably, you know, loosening up the pivot pin. So I think it's a lot easier on the pivot pins on these, on the manual ones. Because these are a couple years old and no up and down or nothing since I Loctited them with red Loctite. But I can't say the same for these. I've only had these less than a year, and both of these have been done like 4 times, maybe even more. I don't know. I lost count. But every time I carry them, pretty much, I will have to Loctite them because I fidget. I'm a fidgeter. Oh man, I love this knife. Ooh, that comes out fast. It comes out like a SOG, like a SOG assist, like the SOG flash. I love. Oh man, that's awesome. This is as close as I can get to auto. That's one reason why I like it. And one thing that's better than this makes this better than any auto is that it's got a real lock. Most autos have plunge locks, and most of them don't have flippers. So I can't recommend those kind of knives. Even though they look really cool and they're fun to open and close, I don't think they'd be that safe in combat. This I can recommend. Well, there it is there, people. I'm going to put this one out today so you guys can see it today. It's Sunday, May 15th. Sunday, May 15th. Peace out. Stiletto.